Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shenandoah Esports Shenandoah University Esports Arena located in beautiful Winchester, Virginia. We got a good game here tonight. Some Rocket League, some car soccer to bless our screens up against Daytona State College. A tough matchup here tonight. A very powerful team here in NECC Division 3. Both teams 1-0, trying to advance to that 2-0 spot. I'm Ben Kincaid, joined by Chris Clayton, and we are stoked.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about it all the time. You know, every game is important, and especially these early season games where you can start to separate yourself from the rest of the pack. You said it, both of these teams coming in it today 1-0 and looking to find that coveted 2-0 spot, because you know the best part about being 2-0 is the opportunity to be 3-0.
Whoa, there you go.
Both of these teams with a lot on the line tonight in an early season matchup.
Yeah, we can take a quick look at what the group looks like right now in this Division 3 East B NECC group. Topping the charts here, we have Cumberland University, Daytona State College there, Winthrop, and Shenandoah here, all four, 1-0. And then towards the bottom, SU beating the University of Georgia, who sits 0-1, University of North Carolina, Asheville, UCF, the Academy team, and Université de Montréal in last there, sitting 0-1 in that 8th spot.
I was going to do the same thing when I read that in my head. SU with a huge Game 7 win over those Georgia Bulldogs as we take a look at the head-to-head matchup we've got going on tonight, and I want to key you in down on the bottom half of these numbers. SU already with a scary games win split of 4-3, still finding themselves in the win column, but certainly had to work for it just a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, last week, UC, they went all games played. Game 7 there last week. They were down 3-1 in that series as well. As we take a quick look at the season head-to-head between these two teams. Something to note about Daytona State College as well is that they were Division II last year and were demoted due to graduating players, a loss of 2 of their key places. So we'll have to see how Daytona continues to look. I mean, they already looked good in week 1 against a 4-1 victory over UCF, but we'll have to see if they can keep that going. But, I mean, you can look at the numbers. 15-3 last season. SU, NECC 13-1, looking very, very strong, both of these squads.
Yeah, you got to think Daytona State probably is playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, right? With numbers like that, 15-3, coming off a season that strong and being demoted. Obviously, you can understand NECC's reasonings with losing players. This roster is not the same, but you got to think these players are going to feel the need to prove themselves in this division. We can take a look at these players in this Division 3 matchup. Is it Shoelace?
Solus, I believe.
Solus and Knuckle representing Daytona State again, looking to prove themselves and show that they do belong in these higher divisions.
Yeah, Smooth is the one to keep the eye on here. That is the consistent player from last year, a peak 2000 MMR player. We have a 1900 and an 1800 as well. So very, very strong team. As we take a quick look at what the SU roster looks like. I mean, hey, we do this every week, but it's the same every single time. It's Kiazi, Mango, and Pagani, the ones here starting for SU Rocket League. And they were off to a slow start last week in the NECC Week 1, so we'll have to see if they can come up with a little bit of a quicker start this week, but we'll just have to wait and see once we get this one underway.
Yeah, again, this is a similar story for this SU squad as well, just in the other direction, right? We said Daytona State's probably playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, looking to prove themselves. SU's in an extremely similar boat, except they have fought to earn their right into this division. They did not get demoted, they got promoted up to Division 3 and are looking to maintain that momentum coming off a national championship in Division 4. So a lot to prove here tonight. Both of these teams feeling like they need to show that they are worth it, and that can lead to some pretty exciting competition when both teams have a lot of emotion on the line.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, right? Something about Daytona as well that I forgot to mention is that in Division 2, they were knocked into lowers in their playoff group Week 1. That first round playoff loss into lowers and ran it all the way through, got out of their group in playoffs, and they did not win the entire Division 2, of course, but they did go on a pretty crazy run. So this Daytona State College team, they know how to play under pressure, backs against the wall, and execute in elimination games.
Absolutely, and we know that this SU squad, again, on the other side, has been tested already this season. I mean, what a character win this team had to go through just a week ago against the UGA Black squad. Going 7 games, you said it, down 3-1 at one point in that series and forced to use their timeout, regather, and sort of focus on what was going wrong and figure it out. With no room for error left, this team has clearly already been through the ringer in this division, but came out on top and needs to find a way to not put themselves in that situation again.
Yeah, one thing we saw from SU yesterday is that they struggled to find chows in the air, right? They weren't really playing with confidence that we're used to seeing this team play with. A lot of it was a lot of slow-paced offense, and then the defense just kind of looked uncoordinated. They didn't necessarily know where they wanted to be in a lot of these senses. A lot of mishits coming through as well from multiple members of the team. It wasn't just one person, but those mishits did come back to bite them last night, rather. So some things to clean up, some things to look at from that last series. But again, this is a brand new team, a brand new series, a different league as well. So hoping to get off to a much better start than they saw last night.
Yeah, we say it at the beginning of every series that Rocket League plays in, or this team specifically plays in. This is such a mentally oriented team. Their success, their confidence, their all-around performance is usually very heavily influenced by how the series is going, how their mentals are holding up, how confident they are in themselves. When things start to slip, they lose that confidence, and that is when we start to see less confidence in their gameplay, less confidence in their challenges. Like, making aggressive plays is where this team tends to thrive. We know that they have the mechanics, especially with Mango leading this team in goals scored, right? Mechanics is never a problem. It's just maintaining the confidence that you can go out and execute on these plays throughout a long series.
Yeah, last night they went up against JMU in the NECC week 4 of the Varsity Premier League there. Mango had 4 goals. Kiazi found 2. Pagani found 1. And now if you go back a little bit more, right, that week 1 NECC game was all Kiazi instead, right? 7 goals for Kiazi, 2 for Pagani, and 4 for Mango in that series as well. So there is potential for other players to step up in this goal-scoring opportunity, but we're used to seeing Mango kind of in that driver's seat. But right now, we're kind of seeing him play that midfield defensive role instead and trying to set up Pagani and Kiazi for a lot of these shots.
Yeah, and it's been interesting to see because that is a pretty stark change of pace for this SU squad, and sometimes we do still see Mango setting himself up for stupid plays, like stupid mechanical, ridiculous-looking plays. But we haven't seen many of them find their way home yet this year. A lot of them still setting his team up for success, and that is arguably equally, if not more important, than going and styling on the opponent every time the ball lands on your lap. Mm-hmm. But so far, yeah, this team has looked a little bit different structurally on how they approach the game. And you know, last week it ended up working, although it was a rocky start to that series. But a win's a win, and it gives them an opportunity to be 2-0 today.
Yeah, win is certainly a win, right? We will take them where we can get them. So we'll have to see how this one gets started. I thought we were going to be jumping into the game shortly, but the players have now left their stations, so not sure when we'll be hopping into it. But yeah, so some difficulties of, I guess, getting everything started off here. But yeah, it's going to be close. If we're looking at the teams, right, Smooth and Mango are definitely the ones that I'm looking at the most. Smooth was the highest rated team or player on Daytona, and Mango, of course, the SSL on SU's squad here. So looking for those two to have big days and possibly big supportive days, setting up other players, because Solus, I believe, has the most goals on Daytona here, and it is not Smooth. Maybe Smooth helping out in the assist department there. I think I saw 10 demos on the stat line for them as well, so definitely going for some headhunting as well.
I was just about to say, I am curious which of these star players can be more of a facilitator for their team. Because so far, if we've learned anything from this higher level Rocket League competition, whether it be Shenandoah competing in NECC, this other league, or a higher division in NECC, both of their leagues have quite elevated competition. And what we've learned is that, like I said, Mango can't be the all-star, can't be the one to do it all. And we have seen Kiazi and Pagani be able to step up in their own ways. So I'm curious to see if Mango, or on the other side, Daytona State, whoever their facilitator is, can find these passing lanes, can set up their team in the best possible scenarios to try and draw attention away from the defense, maybe pull a double commit and, again, lay up your teammates for successful shots. I'm expecting a lot more facilitation over the course of this series and the rest of this season from all of these teams, because it really does feel like this is no longer a one-player superstar team kind of league.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, right? It doesn't feel like the person that we always see with the highest MMR being like, oh, yeah, they're the one that's going to hit crazy clips and score everything. A lot of times, I learned this from Ted Lasso. If you put, what's his name? Jamie Tart, go through Jamie Tart, not to Jamie Tart, right? So that's what a lot of these teams have been doing, is going through their star player and trying to facilitate some of the other players that aren't usually the ones up ahead trying to find these goals, right? We've seen Kiazi a couple years ago just look really good defensively, so that's kind of where they landed in a lot of this play style, and now it feels like we have a brand new player, right? Taking shots, taking challenges left and right, and burying some very impressive goals.
Yeah, we can look at the results of taking shots, getting more aggressive. These numbers are crazy, simply speaking, for Kiazi. This is not the type of player that he has been on this team up to this point. And again, we've said it a couple times, a massive change of pace for this SU squad, but it resulted in a win. 7 goals, outscoring everyone else in that series, outscoring the rest of his own team combined. A massive step up to the plate, step up to the moment from that man right there.
And he did see the 10 saves still kind of making an appearance, right? Definitely back on those defensive rotations. It's not like you can score and never come back past half field, right? You have to be able to play both sides of the ball. But yeah, 19 shots on target is not something that we always see from Kiazi. 2 assists tossed in there as well, trying to get some other players into the swing of things on the offensive side, as we see him there. Kind of, number 1, look at him go. Oh, kissing the one. Yep, there it is. He is locked in and ready to go.
And then he promptly looks to the projector to watch himself on screen. He's the class clown on this team. Well, one of them. I mean, they all kind of are in their own rights. I guess I can't really label any one of them in particular with that title, because we know how loud and obnoxious Mango can get when he has his moments. But Kiazi definitely a big vibe bringer to this team, right? Keeping everybody's heads leveled. But again, we mentioned it earlier today. We mentioned it at the start of every series. Sometimes this goes for the whole team. It can start to slip. So I'm hoping to see more accountability within the team. Hey, shake that off. You know, this is a new play, whatever. If something goes wrong, to be able to forget it. Play like goldfish, as Kiazi said when he came in this very room to talk to us after their win against Georgia. Play like goldfish. Forget it happened and go out there and score another goal. So that's what it's going to take for this team to continue to succeed.
Yeah, and they absolutely did that against Georgia, right? They came back from that 3-1 deficit, winning 3 straight to win that series 4-3. It was a close one. I mean, there were 3 overtimes, I believe, in that series. Game 7 was one of those overtimes, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely a nail biter. Very, very close series all around. I mean, Georgia played unbelievably well. SU had to kind of kick it up a notch here, because I don't think they were expecting that level of competition coming through from Georgia there. So we'll have to see if they can not have to kick it up a gear and if they can stay on top of things right out of the gate. But Daytona State College is definitely one of those teams that they were looking at being like, ooh, this is a good team.
Yeah, and I mean, that series was incredible. I do encourage all of you to go back at some point and watch that one, because, yeah, you said it, a couple overtime games, including Game 7 going to overtime, and some serious momentum shifts in that game, because that whole series was extremely low scoring, defense oriented, and then Game 7 was the one to completely break the mold, and I believe there were like, I don't know, I want to say 7 goals scored in that last game alone. It was an incredible series, but that brought them to this moment, an opportunity to compete and stay undefeated against Daytona State.
Kickoff here in game number 1 going in favor of Daytona for the time being. Kiazi would push that one back off into that far corner as Knuckle finds a pass off of the ceiling there, but no one else really following up. Solus trying to get it through the corner as well as Smooth tries to get back on that defensive rotation. But thus far, it looks like Daytona State in prime control thus far of the ball. Shot going just wide there from Solus. Pagani was the one playing off of that corner, across coming through, but Mango there to answer.
Yeah, again, need to see a couple minutes straight of solid confidence here from SU. Start this series the right way. Get some momentum rolling, even if it's not in the form of goals. Do not let moments like this happen where you have an open net for an extended period of time. A double commit there from the SU defense. Pagani goes up to make the play, and Mango launches himself into the corner, leaving the net wide open for a Daytona shot right down the middle.
Yeah, it looked like Kiazi was definitely prepared for that ball to be cleared, but were unable to find it. Was Pagani and Mango meant that was an open net, like you say, as Kiazi now takes this one up in the air does get bumped out of the way. Now it's Smooth on the move down. Flip reset is there off the backboard. Any follow-up? Yes, there is. Solus tries to take it low, but good defense coming through from Mango with the save.
Yeah, Daytona State's playing with good looks right here. They are finding the slot multiple times here, giving themselves opportunities on the net. Look at this jump from midfield, looking like Shaq jumping from the free throw line. Or no, I guess Shaq doesn't jump that early. More like Michael Jordan jumping from the free throw line. But yeah, Daytona State playing with nothing to lose right now and finding some serious looks on net.
Yeah, Knuckle now with another shot and unable to get back on defense. There is Kiazi from that corner. It looked like they were going for that corner boost, but had to turn around fairly quickly to try to find an angle. No, the corner boost was already snatched up. So yeah, Kiazi just unable to get back on that defensive look, in Daytona State already up 3-0 here in game number 1.
Well, this is what I was talking about. We need to be able to see SU put this one behind them. This is already getting overwhelming, and they are still in this game. But again, a tough touch there right into the hands of Smooth. Plays the slow game, plays it patient, and stays in the air, stays in the play, and gives himself a shot on goal. Once again, Daytona State strikes quickly, and that's 4 goals in 90 seconds for this team.
Unbelievable fast-paced play here from Daytona on offense as Kiazi tries to get something going for SU on this offensive side. But right now, I mean, time of possession has been all Daytona, with a shot on goal again coming through from Knuckle. Pagani there on the save, and now Solus trying to find a cross. Knuckles the one to take it down to Smooth. We'll find the demo instead onto Pagani, but with the rotations already back in time for Daytona, Shenandoah can't convert any of that into any offensive power for themselves. Smooth is taking it up off the wall. The double tap in the backboard. The follow-up coming through from Solus is there. Daytona now find themselves up 5-0.
Yeah, man, it just doesn't stop. We're seeing SU get a lot of opportunities to clear the ball, but a lot of the clears finding themselves right in the hands of another Daytona State player. We have yet to see 2 SU players touch the ball back-to-back, or an SU player take the ball slow and control it. Granted, Daytona State has done a great job of not letting them play slow, but still, a lot of these touches out of the SU half going right into a Daytona State player who is ready for it all day. One shot goes high, and the follow-up for Sules just a little too far behind him. So Kiazi now with little boost can't follow that one up, but Pagani's going to take his own shot.
Pagani trying to find an angle down low from that midfield clear, but can't find anything off of it. Mango off the ceiling now, possibly going for a ground pinch, but can't quite connect on that one either, as it's Solus there with a clear. And, well, Kiazi looked like they were there, but could not get that one out of harm's way, as Daytona State now find themselves up 6-0. It looked like Pagani might have had a bump there unintentionally and put that one into the net.
It looked like Kiazi tried to kill the ball and leave it for Pagani instead of just clearing it into the corner, but again, a Daytona State player was ready for it and all over it. A nice shot on goal there from Pagani as we get our first look at the Daytona State net, but not for long, as they're able to take it all the way back down the field. And again, just some confusion on the SU side of the field. Kiazi just trying to turn around and get this ball out, with Mango spawning right on top of him. One more shot on net, hits the corner, and SU gets away with one again. But 1 minute, 47 seconds left in this game. Daytona up 6, and you just got to think SU's trying to find some type of formula, something to look at for next game.
Yeah, Smooth off the back wall there, clearing that one far side. Solus, no boost to work with, just trying to find a pinch to try to keep that one in that midfield area. The clear goes on target. Pagani the one in the air, but instead it's going to be a push off to the side from Smooth back on that save. Yet again in the air, Pagani again with that touch shot. This might be good, just wide to the left there from Kiazi. Now with a minute to go, down 6. I mean, you just need to start firing any openings that you might have.
Yeah, at this point, you're not playing to win the game. You're playing for information. Whatever you can find, whatever holes in this defense that Daytona State starts to show, you're going to have to take into future games. As Kiazi, the last man on that play, forced to make a play, but Mango goes up for it and can't quite find it, so forced to go for a bump. Pagani with a nice touch there, and can Kiazi put it on net? He can't. So, or well cleared at least. Mango puts an awkward shot there and has an opportunity to fall in net, but won't quite do it. 30 seconds left, and SU finally at least getting some shots on net, falling into their own rhythm, but coming up empty-handed so far.
Yeah, one thing I've been trying to watch here in this game is the boost management, right? SU has pretty much no boost, and if they get a full boost, they have to burn it on a defensive rotation because they cannot get back in time with the pace of play that Daytona State has been playing with thus far. Trying to get something out of that corner are the Hornets, but the ball will reach the ground, and Daytona State in firm control of game number 1, winning it 6-0.
This is a tough place to be, especially for a team that is as momentum-driven as SU. You've just been punched right in the teeth, and how do you respond? 6 goals is a pretty ugly performance, and they know it. That's not a secret, and there's no sugarcoating that. But the good news is it's behind you now. It's not like you're overcoming a 6-goal deficit in this next game. You get to forget about that and just go out and play a fresh game. But step 1 of that is forgetting about that last game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure out how to get any sort of pressure on the offensive side. They were trying to find these clears, but it was quickly answered at the midfield from Daytona, and they really couldn't follow up on anything that they were able to find. They had some pushes into the corner, but they had no follow-up. They had no boost to follow into that corner, try to find a cross, try to find any sort of waterfall shot from that top-down ceiling scenario. But it's just been hard to beat out the rotation of Daytona with the speed that they've been playing with.
Yeah, absolutely. And we haven't seen much aerial game from SU either. It's been a lot on the ground, and every time they get a look to the air, they haven't had much boost to be able to follow up on their own touches. So need to see a bit more two-dimensional gameplay from SU. Just try to force the ball off the ground and maybe force Daytona into the air and try to capitalize off of either a whiff or a commit out of place, as Mango gets an opportunity to go up in the air, and that's the kind of moment I'm looking for. It's a small moment, but that is exactly what I need to see more of from this SU offense.
Yeah, some opportunity there on the offensive side within that first 20 seconds as Daytona is able to find that clear to the far side corner. Mango, the one to try to carry it and flip it past, I believe that was Solus there in the area, but can't find anything off of it. So it's a little bit of a whiff in that corner, but SU, no players in position to follow up on anything.
Yeah, almost a minute passed in this game. Mango tries to set up his teammate, and Kiazi is there to find it through 3 defenders. And look at the cameras. Mango instantly talking to Kiazi, talking to both of his teammates and saying, look, this is not as bad as it seems. Clearly, Mango seems to think he's found a little something, and we'll see if they're able to replicate that. But a nice little lob up and a dunk to finish it off from Kiazi over all 3 Daytona State defenders.
Yeah, Daytona State, they were all on the ground. No one was playing on that back wall off of that crossbar. So just shooting it above them works wonders, right? As a shot comes on there from Samove, a potential pass play across from Mango, Knuckle is there trying to carry that one far corner. Pagani with the challenge and the win there midfield as well. Mango up in the air. It's a fake. Won't be committing for it as Smooth is the first one to make to the ball. A flip coming through. Unable to find any connection, but SU, with a slight mistake, will come out unscathed.
Yeah, that was a little scary for a couple reasons there for SU, but Mango now with a full boost meter in the corner with the ball. Oh, we have a DC from SU. Pagani seems to have left the match. Not sure if we'll get a pause or replay on, but Kiazi seems to be playing on. Puts a shot on net. Mango forced to get back. Pagani is back in the game, so we'll shake that off. Did not happen. Pagani back on defense like he usually is anyway.
Yeah, Mango now into the corner, trying to find another cross over towards Pagani there, but won't be able to find anything with Knuckle there with the save. Another shot on goal coming from midfield. Pagani smooth there for the save instead. Kiazi, no boost to work with, tries to take that one low, but you can see the defensive line of Daytona, all 3 members of their team sitting on the ground trying to defend these relentless shots coming through from SU here in Game 2.
Yeah, so now 1 goal still separating from these 2 teams. Daytona State looking for their first, and a massive defensive effort from SU, at least to keep this thing close. But I do want to point out that last game was the first time Mango has been held to 0 shots on net all season between both leagues that SU has competed in. So that might be a winning formula for Daytona State as they finally put their first in the net and tie this game up.
Yeah, Kiazi is back there, but no boost to work with, has a flip, and just goes right into the goal. Daytona able to tie it up just under halfway to go here in game number 2, tied at 1 as we hop into this kickoff. Pagani off the wall, off the ceiling, trying to find an angle. Smooth with the shot, but Kiazi back there for the save.
Yeah, that was a bullet from the ceiling, and Kiazi forced to find a touch, dig deep in his bag of tricks to get that one to a safe spot. But again, I want to circle back to that stat that I just read out. Daytona State, the first team to, in any game this season, hold Mango to 0 shots on net. That was a suffocating game 1, but a prompt response in game 2 with Mango setting up Kiazi for a nice goal. A nice little flip reset there as well the other direction, but maybe Daytona State has figured out a little something, although SU with a quick response this game, tied now with 90 seconds left, but both of these teams starting to find a download on each other.
Oh, beautiful touch. Mango back there on for the save. Smooth is in the air and is looking very, very strong with what they're trying to do. Mango taking that one dangerously close to being a goal there, but able to pinch that one off into the corner instead. The shot going high. Smooth in the air to catch that one. Kiazi midfield trying to maintain possession of that ball, but instead it's going to be Knuckle to carry that one off into the corner. But that demo saves it. Pagani potentially with another mishit there, trying to get some speed built up, but can't quite find the angle they were looking for as we enter our final minute of regulation, tied at 1.
Yeah, much slower game here from both of these teams, and that is good news for SU. Settling into the moment as Smooth gets an opportunity on the net all by himself. One more shot gets popped way high up, and Sulis looking to follow up but can't quite find their way home either. 30 seconds remaining as Kiazi jumps off the backboard to find one more little disruption touch, but a 50 right off the defender. Smooth finds a second one, and with 24 seconds left in this game, puts Daytona State up another goal.
Yeah, Pagani is there, but just doesn't quite jump as soon as they probably should there. Smooth was moving full speed towards that ball, gets that initial touch before Pagani is off the ground in full, and they can't do anything off it as Kiazi going off that sidewall. Mango now with a pinch across. No one from SU able to follow up on that one. Pagani trying to maintain possession, but now we're back into the final 10 seconds of game number 2. Knuckle, the one in control, has the pinch off of the post. The double tap is there, and Daytona find themselves up 3-1.
I mean, that was crazy. He just beat all 3 defenders by himself there. A bit of a double commit to start that off, but still a nice showing from Daytona State's talent, saying, yeah, we absolutely do belong in these higher divisions, maybe a higher division than this one, as they're looking to prove that. Shenandoah still looking to be the disruptor, as potentially one more shot on goal there from Kiazi goes Kiazi himself goes a little wide, can't quite find it, but a better result than game 1, a better score line from game one, but still not the result that this Hornet team is looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot better here in game number 2 defensively. They were able to find clears and follow up on them, which really allowed for their offense to finally start to show up. Just towards the end there, you just kind of mistimed some of your jumps, weren't able to find the angles that they were looking for, specifically with Knuckle on that solo dribble there towards the end to put them up 3-1. I mean, that was just a great individual play. The players were in position, they just could not find the touch on the ball.
Yeah, and I want to see more meaningful touches, meaningful clears from SU. It feels like a lot of their touches are just to disrupt a Daytona State play. It's just to get a hand on the ball and stall so that your team can make a play later on. But I feel like where they are getting beat down so far is that all of Daytona State's touches are extremely meaningful. They are all leading to another teammate. They all have purpose behind them, a goal, a plan before the ball is even touched. So I need to see a little bit more downfield thinking from SU if they're able to continue this team play and sort of play around each other to find opportunities to put the ball in the net, because 1 goal a game, it's clearly looking like that's not going to be enough to take down this Daytona State team.
Piazzi up in the air from the pass from Pagani. Won't be able to find anything off of it. Mango carries it towards the wall, looking for that pinch, but also cannot connect with himself there up against that wall. So right now, Daytona State in firm control. The pinch, however, does go far corner for SU. Mango can't beat them to that big boost, but Pagani is there in midfield to try to maintain some possession. But as I say that, it's smooth up in the air, runs out of boost, will play it off the wall instead, dropping it down to Knuckle, and Knuckle is there to bury it. Daytona on the board, 1-0.
Again, Mango goes up to challenge this ball, and I don't hate that at all, but his little touch does not affect the play like at all. Smooth still able to just kill it right above the net and let it drop for his own teammate to go and finish the job. Daytona State still continuing this offensive pressure at all moments of the game, and SU now a minute into this one is already going to have to dig out of a hole.
Yeah, down 1-0 here in game number 3. So plenty of game to be played, right? There's 4 minutes left in this game. Nowhere near the halfway point as Piazzi does get demoed there, and that might be costly. Piazzi able to direct that one back towards the middle of the pitch there for SU, trying to keep this one a 1-score game. Piazzi, the one up in the air again, but Solis with that touch over to Smooth in that corner off of that backboard, but can't find anything off of it. Good defense, good poise coming through from SU on the defensive side.
Yeah, Mango with a fake there, just opts to go for the corner boost. Piazzi goes up, but runs out of boost and can't make a play on the ball. Pagani left on an island, can't react to that last touch. And again, a 3-man play from Daytona State, all the way from their own goal line to the opposing goal line. And the ball finds its way into the net once again.
Yeah, I mean, Daytona just fully connected here on the offensive side. The passes are coming through. Into the corner comes Knuckle, but yeah, it's been unbelievable team play coming through from Daytona thus far on the offensive side. The passing lanes are wide open, and they're just playing, it seems, as a team. Shenandoah looks disjointed. They don't know what they are trying to go for. I mean, it almost feels like they're in a ball chasing scenario where they're not really sure what they're supposed to be doing right now. They're just trying to get touches where they can.
Yeah, approaching the halfway point in this game, Mango just tries to go up for the ball, set up a play, but Knuckle all over that one, and not only clears it, but follows it all the way downfield to set up another play on the SU net. They do fall short of the net, and Pagani looks to put one, but Smooth all the way back to make a play on the other side of the field. I mean, this team is everywhere. They're playing fast and they're playing with intention, and it's clearly starting to chip away at this SU team. I mean, this has been a game of 1,000 cuts as finally SU finds a bit of a break for themselves as Daytona State just cheats up a little too far upfield.
I mean, look at where Daytona's playing right now. They have so much confidence that they'll find a score that they're triple committing pretty much off of anything that they can find. All 3 members on SU's side of the pitch, and they're able to find that touch, find that clear, and finally find their second goal here of this series in game number 3. Mind you, they are still down 1. Daytona, Knuckle specifically with 2 goals in game number 3 thus far as the demos start to come through. Smooth able to find that one, the cross coming through, but Piazzi able to push that one back off into the corner as we approach our final 2 minutes.
Yeah, Pagani does make a play on the boost and is able to get it, so advantage SU, but the ball moving his way means that Pagani sort of caught a little too far up and can't make a play on it, has to bail. But Piazzi now forced into his own corner with low boost. Mango forced to make a play at the goal line. Piazzi lands right on a respawning boost and has a full meter. Mango can get it downfield, but he can't. No boost to make the clear, but still gets a clear nonetheless. Pagani now forced to take it downfield himself. Gets a bump on Shmoo, so SU with a bit of an opportunity, but they can't find it as Shmoo goes up on the ceiling and puts a shot on net anyway.
Smooth able to find that one off of the ceiling. We can see this jump here to get that distance, finding that touch, beating Mango to the ball, and you can see the defense from Shenandoah trying to get back in time, but just can't find the power to push that one off up into that crossbar, and that sets Daytona up with a 3-1 lead here with a minute to go. Mango, the solo carry in the air, but it's Knuckle there with the touch pushing it off in towards the corner. But SU, I mean, what do you have to fix? The Smooth is there, bumping the defense out of the way as Knuckle finds another.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a simple musty flick there from midfield and nobody home from SU to make a play on it. He got a lot of power on it, but not so much that SU couldn't handle it. I mean, that's just a miscommunication from this SU squad as they continue to just try to find their footing and get things rolling for themselves as Kiazi puts a shot on net and Pagani's going to have a follow-up. No defender home, and finally a three-man play in favor of the Hornets results in a goal of their own with a minute left. 2-goal deficit.
I mean, I gotta see how this has to happen, though. I mean, it's a bump coming through from Mango. It's a triple commit from the team just to find one goal to cut the lead only to 2. They have to do that 2 more times in the next 50 seconds here to try to force an overtime, or 3 more times to try to find the lead. But Daytona back on defense, Smooth off of the back wall with the carry, but here it is again. Triple commit coming through from SU. Mango able to find that angle towards the goal to cut the lead to 1.
Yeah, that was backboard defense 101 from Schmoove. I just don't know what Knuckle was doing following him upfield. Schmoove took the ball all the way up to midfield, but Knuckle was literally within feet behind him, and that causes Daytona State to leave their goal wide open, as this time around the goal is wide open the other direction. A fake one-way causes a whiff the other way and leaves the ball bouncing dangerously in the middle of the field. Schmoove with all day to make a shot on net.
That's Kiazi there with the miss in the air. Smooth able to find that one. Mango does get a touch, but it's far too late as now they find themselves down 2 goals yet again. Smooth with a carry. Flip reset is there. Will use it. Pagani not falling for the potential fake. Kiazi with the clear on target, but it's Knuckle already back on that defensive side. Mango with some boosts to work with, but you can already see the aggression and the speed coming through from Daytona, able to find those pressures on offense.
Yeah, I liked that look, but Sule's able to cut off that passing lane right as SU starts to find their teammates and set up a play downfield. Mango looking for one more, opportunity downfield, but no boost from the team means that one goes right off the crossbar and into the ground. SU gets away with 1 less goal than they might have, but still not the result they're looking for, and in a 3-0 hole will now be forced to find a reverse sweep with 4 straight wins to come out with a win in this series.
Yeah, I mean, reverse sweep is certainly going to be difficult in the way this series has been getting played out, right? I mean, Daytona, Smooth and Knuckle both have 6 goals apiece, and Solus has 2. On the side of SU, they've scored 4 goals total in this series thus far. 2 from Mango, 1 each for Kiazi and Pagani. And right now, I mean, it looks dire. I am confused of what SU is trying to go for these defensive rotations, but they're just not getting there in time. There's individual misplays yet again, like we saw last night. Some missed hits, just leaving the net wide open.
Yeah, if we're looking at the positives here, SU's goals in Game 1, they were completely shut out. Game 2, they were able to find 1 to start it off, but then lost it later down the game. This last game, they were able to find 3. And what did I say? 1 goal was not going to be enough to beat this Daytona State squad. Well, they are trending in the right direction. It's just going to be a matter of maintaining possession, not letting Daytona State find the amount of shots on net that they are, because we talked about it just last night. It's nearly impossible to play 5 minutes of elite defense, especially at this collegiate level, right? These are not professional players, and you can't expect that level of play from everybody. So what can you do instead of 5 minutes of perfect defense? You can keep the ball. You can find more of these offensive opportunities. You can hopefully try to play slower in the midfield, in the offensive side of the pitch, and try to keep the ball out of the hands of Daytona State's offense and sort of alleviate some pressure off your defensive end.
Yeah, Kiazi there from the kickoff with a shot on goal, but won't be able to find anything with that. So some early pressure, but then again, those are just kickoff shenanigans. It doesn't always work that way once you get these rotations up and going. A little self-pump there from Daytona allows SU to possibly find a cross over towards Mango, but they can't follow up on that one either. Smooth, no boost to work with in the air, has to drop that ball midfield. It's Knuckle, or Solus, excuse me, trying to fight out of that corner. Mango taking it slow, dropping it down towards Pagani, but that pinch is far side and thankfully goes just wide. Kiazi not up in the air to possibly stop that one from going in.
Yeah, Kiazi trying to beat Schmoove, the last defender. Pagani goes up high and does get a touch on it to buy some time. Mango does not go up for the ball and will let it drop. Daytona State not able to contest it very well as Mango goes back to their corner boost and wins it. Kiazi winning his own corner boost as the ball goes dangerously off the crossbar, but Pagani with the confidence to not overcommit and let that ball fall to a spot where he can clear it safely.
Yeah, Pagani not moving at all on that shot off of that crossbar. Cross coming through from Mango. Knuckle able to get that touch. Pagani, the one who was in position to follow up, unable to pull the trigger with how fast that cross was going. We did see a shot come close, but again, it was Knuckle with that save as this one still remains scoreless here in game number 4. Pagani pushing that one back towards the ground. The bumps coming through from Knuckle. No boost to work with in front of SU's net. And now it's a cross. Can Mango get there? No, not enough speed, not enough boost. And Daytona now find themselves on the offensive side yet again.
Yeah, dangerous touch there off the back. Another doink off the upright, and Daytona State just falling short so far on some of these shots. SU getting away with it a little bit, but you take them where you can get them. Halfway through this game, no goals either direction is the best game state SU has found themselves in so far this series.
Halfway through game number 4, 0-0 here in this game. Kiazi trying to find a flip up there in that midfield position, but can't find any momentum off of that one with Daytona there to meet. A little stalemate there midfield as well. That 50-50 going in neither player's directions, just kind of sitting there staring at each other. Smooth goes low and is able to carry that one into the goal. A great stuff and a great 50-50 angle coming through from Smooth.
Yeah, I mean, Smooth just plays up high and keeps the ball low and wins that out. I mean, that's a tough 50, but it's exactly that. It's a 50 that unfortunately finds its way right back in SU's net. I didn't see who the SU defender was sort of close to that play, but a little too close to the play and can't make a move on the ball, so just dribbles into the net, and now Kiazi looks to bang it up to Pagani for a potential shot, and Mango forced to be the one to bang it all the way downfield to nobody to give his team some time to regroup, but Kiazi goes high to the stars. A dangerous touch there. Mango, the last one home, forced to make a play, avoids the bump from Suleis, but loses his boost for it. Now the ball going the downfield the other direction. SU with low boost numbers here, though. Ishmoov gets another nice touch on the ball, but Mango stays home and gets the clear he needs.
Yeah, I mean, Suleis was trying to go for that bump there as well, but just couldn't find it onto Mango, holding their ground in that bottom corner. Oh, a beautiful touch coming through from Smooth right over the defender. Allows Daytona to find themselves up 2-0. But, I mean, just a beautiful touch as Kiazi off the back wall trying to go low, assuming that's where that one is going to go. But Smooth putting the moves on him there and able to find that goal.
That's a really hard shot to make. Sometimes they get a good one. That goes for all of Rocket League. Smooth with a massive moment there to potentially find a dagger with a 2-goal lead in an elimination game. Not an elimination game, but in a series deciding game here. SU down 3-0, and with a minute left in this game, not much going for him as Suleis almost touches that one into his own net, but is able to walk it all the way to the corner, flicks it right into the wall. And Mango's got an open net, but puts it a little too high. Is there any follow-up? There is not. Mango with a rare miss on an open net, and now SU really starting to feel it with 30 seconds left in this game and still down 2.
Down 2 with 30 seconds left. Pagani has some boost to work with. Mango pushing it down the field with speed. It's Knuckle there back on defense to push that one back off into the corner. Solus now going for yet another musty off of that wall. Mango with a little bit of a carry, but Knuckle holding their ground yet again. Able to find that save as we approach the final 10 seconds of the game. 2-0 Daytona's lead, and a clear there from Solus as well. And now with 1 second on the clock, the ball hits the ground and Daytona State College finds themselves with a 4-0 victory.
Yeah, that was textbook from Daytona State. I mean, they were firing on all cylinders, quite literally. I mean, the offense was overwhelming. 6 goals in game 1 alone, and that never seemed to stall for Daytona State College. SU finding their way back in the series, keeping the game close in their own right, but still Daytona State never letting their own defense cost them a game. And just like that, 4 games later, Daytona State walks away with a very commanding win.
Yeah, and I can't help but feel that SU was hurting themselves just like they did last night, right? I mean, there was a lot of misses coming through on the defensive end, able to set up practically open nets for Daytona State, able to just really not have to do too much on the offensive side because it was just individual misplays. Kiazi missing the ball a few times, Pagani with some mishits, some demos coming through from smooth bumps as well onto Mango and the rest of the SU defenders. It was just an all-around good game plan from Daytona, but also just some more individual mistakes from SU.
Yeah, Daytona State moving now to 2-0 and looking extremely strong along the way. Clearly, I mean, showcasing why they were able to 3-1 UCF's Academy team just last week and stay undefeated in this group, which will be a tough group. Again, proving at least fighting for their chip on their shoulder, right? They did get demoted. They had an incredible season last season in a division higher than this one, so they are absolutely here to prove themselves, and so far they are doing exactly that.
Yeah, Daytona State College advancing now up to 2-0 in this Division III NECC group. SU finding themselves now with a 1-1 record here after tonight's loss. Still not a bad spot to be, but I do believe that will do it for us here tonight. So thank you so much for sticking with us here tonight. Drop a like, drop a comment, follow wherever you guys are watching, and we will see you tomorrow for some very exciting Smash Bros.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.